Alright, so that being said, let's get started with this reading. And so first cards I'm going to use are the Rider-Waite Tarot. Just give me 1 second. Let's change the vibe for a minute. Okay. Just 1 second. You know, I usually they say music is like really great as far as you know, raising your vibration. And I know people throw that phrase around, you know, raise your vibes, or you have to elevate your awareness, expand your, all that. But really, all it is just sort of bringing you to a heightened state of mind. You know what I mean? There's music that can lower your vibe, that can depress you, that can make you angry. You know, it's like sometimes you hear certain songs and you just get like mad, and you just don't even know why you're mad or upset, but it's triggering some memory or something. And other times you hear music and it's just like, it seems to solve every, you know, worry and concern that you had. So let's change the vibe and put on some nice music that'll help us out. How's that? Good, right? Alright. So, let's begin. Alright, so I'm going to take out the cards. And here we go. I'm going to shuffle them. Give them a nice shuffle. Okay, just to clear out all the old energy from last reading. Alright, and now I'm going to ask, well, first, what I always do before we start any reading, pray. Asking my archangels, my guides, my higher power, God, Jesus, you know, I call upon them just to help me, to be with me, and to give me the best information that I need. So if you want to join me, feel free. But I'm going to do that right now, so give me 1 moment. Amen. All right, so let's get started. And thank you for being a part of this exercise with me. I really appreciate your presence and you donating your time and energy. It means a lot, and I appreciate you very much for it. All right, so let's shuffle the cards, and while we're focusing, any messages that are utmost importance for the highest good of all regarding Trump presidency, any fears or concerns that we have, anything that we can do to bring about the highest possible outcome for the United States of America and the world. Anything that we can do. Any messages, any insights, any problems, what is to become of the United States and the world, or major issues that we can change during this time. we can do for the betterment of this country, for the betterment of the world, for all people to live together in harmony, to avoid disaster, prevent hurt and pain, to improve our world and make it a better place for you and for me. Oh, wait a minute. There's a card that just jumped out. I'm going to put that to the side. Okay. Alrighty. One last shuffle. One last shuffle. And then we should start. Alright. So, I'm going to do a Celtic Cross 10-card spread. And I will draw clarification cards if we need more clarification. And here we go. Okay. Alrighty. All right. So this is an interesting spread that we got here. So first card that we got in our first position is the Seven of Swords reversed. Now, I hope everyone can see that. Okay, and that is crossed in the second position by the Sun. So, what we've got here is people are thinking a lot. People are, really worried. A lot of people are worried and concerned about the state of our America, the world. People are really, wondering what could have been different. Other possibilities. What do we do now? As you can see, it's the guy here, and he's trying to carry all these swords, but in the process of trying to do so much, lift so much of that mental burden, he's looking back and notices that he's dropped two. So yeah, it's a lot of people are really concerned about what is going to happen and what's going on. That's one of the reasons why I played, Neither One of Us, because it's that song is about a woman that's ready to leave, a relationship that's really not working for her. It's a Gladys Knight song, and and she's basically saying, you don't want to go, it's not really working out, but neither one of us wants to be the first one to, make the move to say, okay, this isn't working, and let's call it, call an elephant an elephant. So yeah, this is what that card is representing. And we're crossed by the Sun. People want hope. People want the best things. No matter what side that you're on, a lot of people are frustrated. They're frustrated, and they're really feel like they've been burdened with doing too much. Basically, that's what I'm getting. Doing too much, and people just want the best outcome. People want brighter pastures. People don't really want fighting, but they're willing. But they're so convinced of what they believe that they're willing to. It sort of reminded me of was it like when someone is willing to risk everything to get the reward? That's the feeling that I'm getting with these two cards. And people are really at that point. The next card that I drew, the Emperor, reversed. A lot of people are concerned that this Trump person, the guy that we elected, Trump, or the guy that was selected, depending on who you ask, he's an emperor, but in this position, and when it's reversed, it could stand for a tyrant. There are people that I would notice that people have compared him to Hitler, sort of. They fear that a Trump presidency would be similar to what happened in Nazi Germany, and rightfully so. I can understand that. This guy has spent most of the last 16 months campaigning based on fear and anxiety and manipulating people based on those. First it was the Mexicans, and it's the Muslims, and it's the women. Then it's it's putting he really knows how to sort of the crooked, the dictator, the emperor. This is exactly what that card stands for, and this is behind a lot of people's regretting with that Seven of Swords reverse. They're like, "Wow, what did we just do?" And this is what a lot of people are worried about. So let's look at the next card. Judgment reversed. Look at that. So that's in our fourth card in our recent past. There's a lot of people that feel like it's a lot of people that voted for Trump. They did so because of this feeling of things are really unfair. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of just crookedness, corruption. Again, both sides, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, they weren't necessarily. A lot of people felt like they had to pick from the lesser of two evils, and there was also a lot of unfairness too. There's recently that just came out about a lot of these fake news sites that sort of swayed the popular opinion. They were putting out all these bogus stories that were not necessarily true. It was just basically hearsay, and it just felt like this card is bringing up all those emotions, all those ideas, and just those images of the email scandal, the various lawsuits and the scandals in the media about Trump, just about everyone. It's like this whole collective, people were really exhausted from it. This whole is like, we don't know who's right, who's wrong, and it's just a lot of deception. And also too, this seems to really resonate with the fact that if anyone knows astrology, Neptune going, was it retrograde? Or I think it's going forward, but this is and that's happening I think around the 17th. I have to double check that, but I believe it's on the 17th this month. So this card resonates with a lot of that whole the truth being revealed, the whole idea of things not the truth that you were told wasn't really the truth. There's more to it. You know what I mean? So that's what that card is. Next card, in the fourth position, we have Four Swords. And this is saying people are just really just glad that the election's over, and they're it's like people just wanted all this to end, all this confusion, all this mental burden. They wanted all this to just go. And they just want to be done with it. They just want to get back to being happy again. People wanted to be happy. People wanted to just laugh, enjoy themselves, not worry so much. And people are really just apathy. Again, the voter turnout. Like half the country voted, and a lot of it was just really disenchanted. This whole disenchantment with the political system. People just chose to sit out. People chose to not get involved anymore. People just said, you know what, just screw it. My vote's not going to count anyway. And yeah, so this is what that card is symbolizing. Next card, in the fifth position, in our near future, we have Page of Swords. And this is, Page usually means a message or some sort of something coming to light. And Swords is like, it deals with the mind. So it's basically, what I'm getting is that more stuff is about to come to the forefront. More things about people are really going to find out stuff. There's going to be, if you thought this election cycle was full of twists and turns and cliffhangers and, what's the guy's name? I can't remember the words. But basically, yeah, those twists and turns and those surprise endings and all that, you haven't seen nothing yet. There's more about to come. There's more things that are going to be exposed. More people getting, a lot of the noise is getting ready to be cut through, like a hot butter through knife. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. There's just like more people are going to have to face the truth about what's going on and what's coming to light. So again, let's look at the sixth position. Ding-a-ding, Ace of Pentacles. So again, this usually most people think this has to deal with receiving some sort of money, but again, I just heard that. So they want me to talk about this being connected to the supermoon in Taurus, and so again, our values, how we look at news, how we look at information being presented to us, how we, our electoral process, the electoral college, people are, how we look at the system, how we place our trust in things. We're going to really start reevaluating that and sort of all of this whole cycle is really going to change how we look at the media, how we look at the elections, how we look at government, how we look at, how engaged we are with social and political issues, how we look at each other. We're going to be reevaluating a lot of things from all of this. Again, next card in our seventh position, leading up to our final outcome. Knight of Cups reversed. So a lot of people were hoping that Trump or this, they were expecting something. This is either people that are disenfranchised or disillusioned by, the whole political process, or people that. I'm just listening to sort of get which one they want me to talk about. Both. Okay, both. All right, both of them. So there's two things. These are dealing with people that were expecting some sort of new. I'm getting like they were basically putting a lot of their. All right, hold on. All right, so this is basically what they're telling me is that a lot of the hate crimes, a lot of the people, the white nationalists, the racists that are doing these violent acts against other people in the name of Trump, like it's just that's what they want me to talk about with this card. They sort of are using this election as sort of a spark. A sort of the normalization of their beliefs, like this, racism and xenophobia and sexism, all these things becoming, they think that it's our time now, all these people that held these beliefs, that they're now coming up to the forefront, and again, so that's the first thing. The second part is talking about people that sort of, they had high hopes. They wanted to trust, to believe, believe. They're talking about people on the other side of things that they wanted, like their disappointment on the other side. They feel as though the system is rigged, that, people that expected Hillary to win, and, the sort of the grief, the disappointment, or the delay, it's like, this is what that card is also, this is what I'm also getting from that card, if that makes any sense. So this card is talking about two things. This talks about the hate, the people full of hate, or the people that are using this presidency to basically normalize and take and exploit their hate and do hateful things. And then it's also talking about people that are disappointed that someone like Trump, that someone that they feel, it's sort of like they're let down in a way, and they're sort of like feeling hopeless. They're lost of despair by his presidency. So those are the two things that this card is telling me about. The next card I'm getting is the Nine of Wands reversed. A lot of people are feeling that, a lot of the progress, a lot of things that have come about, from the previous president. Well, he's not previous yet, but the president that came before, Obama. A lot of things are going to be undone. Like we're taking steps backwards. A lot of people are talking about gay marriage. People are talking about Obamacare. A lot of the advances that we made, that people are feeling, not just necessarily, with Obama in particular, but people feel like we're taking steps backwards. That again, that fear, that people feel of when they make those comparisons of Trump and Hitler, or not necessarily Hitler, but what happened in Germany in the 1930s and 40s and World War II, and that's a lot. And that's in the people are afraid of that. People are really afraid of that, and honestly, that's part of the reason why I did another one, because as an empath, as someone that's very sensitive to energies, I haven't really been able to sleep, or I just been feeling that from a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I want to be able to bring some sort of message of hope. So yeah, here we are. And for the final outcome, I'm getting Lovers reversed. Yeah, and it just doesn't. This seems like a really gloomy reading, but again, this sort of is what a lot of people are fearing. And again, and this may not be particularly about a romantic relationship, but a lot of people, from what I hear, like a lot of people have, ideas about, is this going to lead to like another civil war? Are people going to get so hateful and divisive and xenophobic and racist and homophobic, and that we're really going to be like a divided country, as portrayed in the Lovers card. Yeah. So, and this is in our final outcome, and that leads me to believe that, yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility that, this could be the beginning of the end. However, remember the other card that I just pulled as well, the Chariot. And whenever a card falls out of while I'm shuffling, I always read it upright. So the Chariot is basically a card about transition, about evolution, about movement, about change, about you know they think of it, a chariot, a vehicle, a car. It's about transitioning. Again, you see the two sphinxes here, the black and the white one. The sphinx is it represents balance. It's like a car needs four wheels to move. So if you take away one of the wheels, the car can't move anywhere, right? It's just going to be sitting and rusting in the elements. Well, same thing here. What I'm getting from Spirit is that this, out of all of this, out of wait a minute, I'm trying to find out of order. Out of chaos order. Out of chaos order. That basically, because of this, because Trump's presidency is going to be. Sorry for one of my cards dropped. But what Trump is serving as, he's sort of serving as the catalyst to sort of, and let me find the right words to put this so that I'm understood. But he's sort of serving as a catalyst to basically purge all the hate, all the division, all this, apathy out. Like it's, I know it sounds funny, but it's basically he is going to be the catalyst for people to start coming together, for the nation to start balancing out, for people to stop being divided and start working together to overcome this. To basically what I'm getting is that good will prevail, but it's going to take people getting motivated, taking action, putting aside their differences, coming together and making change happen. Otherwise, this is what we'll end up with. Divided, just, I'm getting a broken marriage. a loveless marriage, basically. Again, all the political factions, all this, red versus blue, liberal versus conservative, black versus white, gay, all of that. We're going to have to put all that aside and work together and cooperate and learn to coexist for the greater good in order to prevent disaster. And that's why Trump was elected. Trump was elected to basically, sort of like America's had hit rock bottom with its, sort of like all the social ills and all the division, all the isms, if you want to call it that. So basically that's what Trump was in a weird way. Trump is good. Trump is I never thought I'd say that, but whatever, I'll go with it. This is what was meant to happen. Let's pull some other cards just to get some clarification. Okay. So, card music is Kyle Gray's Angel Prayers, the Oracle deck. So, okay, I'm going to shuffle. And these cards I read, right side up. So, let's focus and put our intentions for the card. All right. Would you look at that? So, boom, 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 boom. I don't know if you can see it, but in case you can't, I'll read it for you. So, this is a card of, says change and transition. It says Archangel Azrael. Thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change. And there you have it. So, as we said before, we had this card before. Let me pull it up for you. We had the Chariot, and that basically goes along right with. Here we are. So, boom. There we are. The Chariot and Archangel Azrael. Change and transformation. There we go. So we see that we've got basically similar messages. And just for kicks, let's see. Oh, okay. Alright, so they're telling me. Alright, so they're telling me to end there. Alright, so that's all I have for now. Again, thanks everyone that chose to check out my little reading. I'm very grateful. And this will be the second time that I've read publicly like this. And I'm getting very, and I'm starting to like it. And I think I'll be doing more videos soon. Again, you can subscribe to me here so that you'll get the latest videos whenever when I post them. I'm also on Twitter at DRaySean. That's DRay_Sean. And I am also on Facebook, same name, Sean DeRay. And I'm also on Instagram at Philosopher King D. Again, you can, hit me up there. I'm not doing private readings yet, but I do plan to do so in the future. If you're interested, hit me up anyways, and we can discuss and arrange and schedule a date. Again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate everyone that's been checking these out and supporting. And again, I wish everyone the best, and I'll look forward to reading for you guys soon. Okay? Take care, and good night, and God bless.